for today. All of them are musically gifted, and we don't have the time today to go into all of their accolades, all of the extra ensembles they have performed in the context of Mannheim Central, in the context of private lessons, district, regional, state bands. Let's just say there's a lot of music talent in this group here today. But what really differentiates this group of kids is their friendship, the way that they have used music as a catalyst to deepen their relationships with each other and really truly work at communicating together as one voice as they present and communicate music to you. Now, the seniors graduating this year were freshmen when COVID hit, and I'd like to think that as freshmen, as you're just getting started in high school and you're trying to figure out who you are and what you're interested in, having something like a pandemic dropped into the middle of that kind of does something to you. And this group totally took that opportunity to solidify what's really important to them. And I believe that was friendship and music. They took the opportunity to be creative, to explore, and you're going to see all of that coming out in the recital today.
Hello and welcome to our senior recital. The first piece we're going to be doing is the Summertime Jazz Duet. This was a piece I found way back in 7th or 8th grade when I started actually caring about playing my instrument and getting better. And I have some really awful recordings of me attempting to play this back before I had lessons or any sort of help with my instrument. So I thought it would be a nice way to round out my musical career for at least high school if I were to give this piece another attempt, but hopefully a little better this time than some of my other recordings of it. So I hope you enjoy the Summertime Jazz Duet.
Hi, there we go. So next up we have Panacea. I found this song in like 9th grade. I'm like, I need to play this. Except I hadn't been doing piano for a long time. So this is like the only thing I know on piano anymore. And it's fun. The song is called Panacea, and Panacea means cure-all. And it comes from a game called Hyperlight Drifter. That's not the important part. The important part is the developer has an incurable heart disease. So the very end of the game, this is essentially the outro, the final credits song. It's called Panacea. And it means cure-all. I don't know. It was just interesting. So, yeah.
Piece is the Victorian Kitchen Garden Suite series. I was first introduced to it by my lesson teacher, Denise Thomas, and I got to play one of the other movements. There are 5 total, most of which are about like the seasons and such. So I got to play the spring movement at a recital for the conservatory that she teaches me at. And this movement, the first one I played was spring. It was just so beautiful, and I really loved it, and I wanted to play more of it. So I was going to use this as an excuse to play more of one of my favorite suites. And I knew the piano music would be something that Haley would enjoy playing. So this will be the summer movement of the Victorian Kitchen Garden.
So I am performing a piece called Jade, and it has 3 movements, but the entire point of the piece is that it was written by a French composer, and it said to seem that he traveled somewhere in China or somewhere in Asia. So he created a piece kind of replicating those mannerisms to repeat similar sounding music.
The kind of funny thing about this piece is the arrangement has very large intervals, so before I bought it, I actually had to get a measuring tape to make sure that my arms were long enough to be able to play it. So some of the things have some adjustments, but I am sticking to mostly the original, but it is possible. I hope you enjoy. another fellow percussionist at Mannheim Central, David Graff. He wrote a piece for our percussion ensemble called Bread Dulce, which translated to sweet bread, despite the piece not sounding like sweet bread whatsoever. But basically, I took that piece and I combined it with some of my favorite selections from my own pieces, and I made a combination of the piece that I named Confuso. Part of the reason is because it's really, really difficult to follow, and I think we can all say that all three of us got lost very terribly during this piece. It is confusing and difficult, but I think it sounds pretty good when it's put together. One, two, ready, play.
Piece called White Clouds, that's what it translates to. I'm not going to try to even pronounce what it actually is in that language. So White Clouds is a piano piece that we actually had an arrangement for that Chelsea did for Momentum a couple years back, and that's what kind of drew professionally to actually learn it. So then over COVID, that was mainly when I tried to like learn the piece. Even though piano is not my instrument at all whatsoever, I used kind of like my mallet percussion skills to try to, I guess, get to where I could on that. And now I kind of arranged it again for this group right here, so we could do it all together for this. And I just want to thank you guys for putting in the time and like to work on all of this. And yeah, I'm excited.
Alright, I hope you guys all enjoyed the senior recital from Mannheim Central. Thanks so much for coming. A special thanks for Steph for making this all happen. And thank you to all of the performers for letting me yell at them. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.